So let me tell you what I just endured. I was at this restaurant at the bar to get some happy hour nachos. And then this guy decides to sit down next to me. And I thought he was just going to be some friendly guy. He purposely sits down next to me at a completely empty bar. So there's like 1 million seats open. But he's like, I'm going to sit next to this guy because he looks fun, which I am. And then he goes, blah, 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 blah. I'm a Trumper. And Biden is a racist. And Georgia has lots of different ballots. And all this nonsense that I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And I'm like, let me ask you a question. Why do you care? The election is over. This is an off year. There's no elections this year. Maybe you can just enjoy your life and play some video games or something. And he's like, I can't do that because the state of Georgia has these different, and then he just goes on this whole fucking long thing about how he can't stop being political because politics exists somewhere. Now, I get that. There are a lot of people in America who are like, I want to keep being political even though it's not an election year. I totally get that. You know, everybody's got to fight for everything. But I'm just trying to have some motherfucking nachos with some water at happy hour. You know, just take it somewhere else. Then the guy's like, can I tell you a dad joke? So I thought he was going to tell me a punny dad joke about puns that have to do with porcupines or something. But it wasn't. It was a long joke I'm obviously not going to repeat. The punchline was a super cruel joke that I'm not going to repeat about Puerto Ricans. And I'm like, I said to him, I go, dude, that's offensive. And he goes, you people on the left are killing comedy. Like, Pryor couldn't exist now, and Carlin couldn't exist now, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm so sorry. You can't just go around insulting people for the way that you are discriminating against them on a daily basis. Oh, excuse me that you can't discriminate against people anymore. Oh, you really lost out. You know what makes me angriest is, okay, you see this skin color? I'm white. If you're a white man in this world and you think like I'm gonna laugh at your fucking racist fucking jokes just because you're a white guy and I'm a white guy, fuck you, and not in a good way. Don't give me your bigoted jokes. I don't want to hear your bigoted jokes about people with different skin color or different heritage or their sexual lives or being a woman or having too much weight on their body or any of that bullshit. There are all these motherfucking assholes and they're like, oh, you're so politically correct. You're so politically correct. I can't tell the same joke I've been telling my whole life. You know, it's not just that you tell bigoted jokes. It's also that you're a fucking hack. You are telling am I telling the same jokes I was telling when I was 20? No. Did I ever tell racist jokes? I did not. You know why? Because I'm not a fucking racist. It's time for you to get some new fucking jokes. Get some new material about your car, about phones, about, like, there's a lot of things that you can make jokes about. That guy made a joke about me being a video gamer, and it was better than every other joke he told. So he kept going like, so what do you do for work? What do you do for work? You know, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to tell this fucking guy, you know. But eventually, he got to the point where he was so fucking annoying, I just went, are you ready for this? I am the head of the Communist Party in Nevada. And I'm not, you know, because fuck that guy for ruining my nachos. Here's a tip. You want to win over me on a personal level? Don't ruin my nachos o'clock at happy hour. You're not winning any points. Shut the fuck up, motherfucker. My nachos. I had to get my nachos to go. Look, these are my to-go nachos I had to get because I couldn't eat them in the fucking restaurant. I just looked at him and I thought, oh, maybe this guy likes strip clubs. I like strip clubs. You know, what kind of Trumper wouldn't like strip clubs? So I'm like, hey, you know, why are you doing all this? I go, there's no election year. Why don't you just go to the strip clubs? And you know what he does? He pulls his phone out and he shows me pretty close to naked imagery of some woman who's much younger than him. One of the things that drives me craziest about this is that I have a motto, and that motto is no arguing and no suffering. I didn't argue with him. I just made little jokes about communism and shit, you know, and then I made a good point. He was like, oh, you know, Bernie Sanders and all these other communists, they have like mansions. And I went, exactly. You don't understand communism. You think communism is about being poor. No. Communism is about making everyone as rich as each other. What is the city that you think of as being the most socialist leftist? San Francisco. Guess how much it costs to live in San Francisco? A lot. Guess how much money people make in San Francisco? A ton. You know why? Because it's a socialist town in a socialist state. If you want to live in poverty, in abject poverty, go fucking live in some red state, rural, where it's super capitalist, and then go to San Francisco and make a fortune earning cash at a good job in a nice city and go, why is this town so great? Because it's a leftist town. I'm not like the fucking spokesperson for communism or socialism, by the way. I'm the spokesperson for me and my car and my nachos. I'm a spokesperson for enjoying my nachos. I am not a spokesperson for socialism or communism. I know what's going on in the fucking world, and so all these Fox News Trumper motherfuckers are like, communism, socialism, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? The blue states, with all the high taxes and all the leftism and shit, that's where all the money is. That's because socialism increases people's value as human beings and financially. The end. One last thing off topic. You see this? It says Minnesota. I'm not from Minnesota. I went to the Minnesota airport a couple of years ago, and so I thought I'd get a hat. So I got this hat, and then I wore it on the plane, and then everybody that worked on the plane was like, hello, sir. Hello, sir. What can I get you, sir? What can I get you, sir? And I was like, whoa, I'm getting such good service. And I thought, oh, maybe it's because of this hat. And then I took another plane to another city, and then they were like, oh, hello, Mr. Minnesota. What can I get you? What can I get you? And I was like, what the fuck? And so I've been wearing this hat for a couple of years. And you know what I noticed about it is, of all the hats I've worn in my lifetime, this is the one that people treat me the nicest. I think it's because people associate Minnesotans as being the nicest state. So they see the hat and they go, oh, this is going to be a nice person. I think that might be why that crazy guy sat next to me. I don't think it had to do with anything other than the fact that I was wearing this nice Minnesota hat. So he's like, oh, there's a nice guy from Minnesota that I can unload my ignorant, toxic thoughts and bigotry to. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. Hallelujah for that fucking holiday coming through. It's been a long time coming, and we've got a lot more progress to make in this fucking country. But right now, I'm gonna go home and eat my fucking nachos. And please, I don't want any politics from anybody. I don't want politics from the left or the right or the middle or anything. I just want to enjoy my fucking nachos, smoke a bowl of weed, get on the treadmill, lift some weights. I just need some no arguing, no suffering. No arguing, no suffering. No arguing, no suffering. I love you. I hope you're having the best day of your life. This family behind me is like, why is that guy screaming at his rearview mirror?